तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः. Attainment of God, eternal freedom, eternal bliss, eternal peace in eternal life in the Shashvata Dhama, unchanging ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. And these are not placebo, these are not something concoction of mind, but a reality. Thousands have crossed, millions have reached from ancient times. They told, yes, I have reached. I have transcended all the bondages and sufferings of this world forever. I am mukta, I am mukta. Vedahametam purusham mahantam. I have attained him. I have become free. What I had to do, what I was to do, what I was ought to do, I have finished. I have become kritakritya. And having got a human body, I have fulfilled its purpose. Many times nature gave human body, but with the human body, I was running after the temporary pleasures of life, suffering lot of bondage and suffering, and undergoing so much of torture. Still I continued to run after that. But by divine grace, I could realize the purpose of human life and transcend the nature and go beyond. This expression, these wordings, this saying, thousands and millions of people have uttered and gone, blessing this world, praying for the future generations to come, for their welfare, to take them across the ocean of samsara. How do we hold on to that reality in and through all the activities of life? How do we transcend and go beyond? Otherwise, it's a life of animal life to earn, enjoy, possess and die. To that low level of living, a short human life which can take you beyond is utilized, wasted in binding ourselves, limiting ourselves, loading ourselves with the karmic load and vasanas, drives, and are transcending, traveling each life like this. Instead of going beyond, we are putting circles within the world of Maya, running within the jurisdiction of Maya. We have to go beyond. And how it is possible? hold on to the transcendent reality, but it is transcendental. Yes, his manifestation will be there often within this universe as avatara, as the Vedas, as the scriptures, as the path to perfection, as the way of realizing God. So, in and through all this, we see the now we have come to the bhakti path of realization, and we see how we trans and move beyond, go into the path of perfection. So here we see we have come to the Navada Bhakti, and we have entered into a new chapter, and what we call it as the Puja, Archana. Archana as Puja. We have seen Archana as Archana itself, wherein we contemplate on the various aspects of God and offer something like flower or a leaf, tulsi leaf or kumkuma. We offer for my physical participation only and to please God with my offerings as a offering of love and visualize the various aspects manifesting in and through the same, like I am having something like a prison and different colors are emerging out of it. The same. So this part of my worship we call archana, and another aspect of worship is puja. In puja, we have a different view of invocation. We meditate in the heart and do the worship. There are two aspects of worship. One is the mental worship, Manasa Puja, and another is Bahir Puja, external worship, ritualistic worship. Same ritualistic worship without any ingredients, without external expression, without external movements. I can do the same thing mentally. In mental worship, the various aspects are offered of the nature as they are. Now, instead of flower, Gandha Tattva, which is the representative, I am representing Gandha Tattva and offering the flower. Each aspect of nature which is sustaining my life, which is responsible for my evolution, I am offering it to God as a flower. So this aspect I mentally do in Manas Puja, and at physical level, at gross level, I do as Bahir Puja. But usually without Manasa Puja, mental worship, we are not supposed to do the, traditionally I mean, later on we can do anything according to our convenience and love of God. But usually Bahir Puja is preceded by the Manas Puja. Mental worship is essential because one day the Bahir Puja is going to merge in the Manas Puja. For individual evolution, Manas Puja itself is sufficient. And for the other part, that is for the welfare of the world, we have two responsibilities because we are individuals at the same time inseparable individuals of a society, inseparable parts of this humanity, inseparable existence we have from this cosmic existence, just because we are owning a body and calling that body myself, I. This body belongs to nature. In sleep, we totally separate from this body. And when I'm waking state, I call it myself, not even my body. myself. I am this body, I become this body. And see, the moment I become this body is inseparable part of this universe. I cannot take it away out of the universe and go somewhere else. I have to be in the universe, I have to be with this body. Body belongs to universe and I as body belong to this universe. I cannot separate from it. Similarly, at all levels of my being, I can never separate from this universe. As a human being, a part of humanity, as the just bodily existence, I am one with the matter of the universe. So to every level, I have something to contribute. I cannot neglect the society which is giving me all protection to live, all things I need for my life. Somebody is plowing somewhere. I am getting my food. I am not plowing. And cloth that I wear. Somebody is growing cotton somewhere. Somebody is weaving. The whole process of making cloth, coloring, transportation, everything is taken care. And where I am sitting, I am getting this cloth. Similarly, all objects that I use, whether it is specs or woolen or anything that I use, everything, a soap, a water, a bucket, a vessel, everything is prepared by someone which I can never think of preparing. I can't make a button of my shirt. I don't know how to make plastic. So everything society is giving me. The money I may pay is not a compensation. It may make their living, but I cannot return the even gratitude I cannot return. So only thing I can do is to thank them, to see that their welfare is sought and their evolution I am able to help in some way. Oh, I am going forward. Let them also go forward. And for the sake of this world, which is sustaining my life in every way, all those who participate in my life for my comfortable living, and for the nature which is supporting my existence, I offer all this. And this part of the puja, which I do for the welfare of all others, is Bahir Puja. And Manasa Puja is exclusively for me, between me and God, as an offering that sustains my life and creates my evolution, whatever creates. I am offering it back to the Lord, which has brought me into the creation, which has given me life, which is sustaining life, which is taking me beyond to the eternal. All these aspects of worship are done in the Manas Puja. In Manasa Puja, we chant a shloka, a passage, and number of shlokas are there, and we meditate the Lord, you keeping the flower of meditation on our head. We take a flower in the Kurma Mudra, do the dhyana of our Ishta Devata, whom I want to worship, be it Shiva or Durga or Ramakrishna or Krishna or Rama. After the meditating on the form in my heart, I take that flower and keep it over my head. Head is a place where I enter into infinity when the centers of consciousness are viewed. Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya, Sahasrara. Sahasrara is the 10th door in the level of consciousness. Annamaya, Pranamaya, these are horizontal ingoing up from the sheath's point, the coverings that I put. I take Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya and transcend all this and go beyond. There is the 10th door. And when levels of consciousness, I am conscious of at a material level, gross material level, then Jala Tattva, Agni Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Akasha Tattva, then beyond the Tattva to the realm of the spirit. So when I consider the consciousness, level of consciousness, I go from matter to the spirit. Spiritual expression. I enter into the spiritual beyond my bodily existence. And the highest point I reach within the body is the head. So this is the 10th door. So representing the absolute manifesting in my heart as the form. Because from here nature begins. Akasha Tattva, Vayu Tattva. Agni Tattva already sight comes into picture. These two are belonging to Prakriti, manifestation of God in Prakriti, ends with the heart, and then Jiva Tattva begins. These lower three chakras, Agni Tattva, Jala Tattva, and Prithvi Tattva, are exclusively of the Jiva's karmic load. Jiva has to work out the past, and it needs a body to work out. And the bodily existence, the responsible thing, the bodily existence projected by the load of the karma of the jiva, that part belongs to the lower three chakras, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur. This is Jiva Tattva. From here to here, Prakriti Tattva, the nature. In my existence, there is partition of my own karma, the nature's plan, and the divine. So the higher I go to the consciousness beyond my limitations, I enter into Prakriti Tattva. There I see the Lord has manifested in the nature, with form. He is personal God to me. And here is where the form starts dissolving and pure consciousness begins. Manifestation with form takes in the heart, and in Vishuddha Chakra, this form starts dissolving, Guna starts dissolving, Nama starts dissolving, and we enter where the whole universe has become pure energy is the Ajna Chakra. The Divine Mother in her own original state, prior to where there is no creation, where there are no jivas, she is in her own glory at the energy has become the whole universe and all beings. That energy is here in our Ajna Chakra because they are levels of consciousness. A particular level of consciousness is the Divine Mother, that is the pure energy, Shakti is perceivable to you. In this normal consciousness, you cannot perceive God. You have to raise to higher consciousness. These are the conscious levels of consciousness. Highest consciousness is Nirvikalpa. The in-between is Savikalpa. You see the God's form in the Anahata and God's form without form in the highest place of the Sahasrara. So I keep this in Sahasrara, indicating the absolute is manifested in my heart in the form of taking a form, Rupa, Nama, Rupa, Guna. It has the infinite has become finite, the formless has taken form, the Nirguna has taken Guna in my heart. From there, it is projecting out. Just like a mobile, all-pervading waves, somebody speaking to you or mobile, the vak, which is audible, which is at the physical level, gets converted into electromagnetic waves, imperceptible to senses, but all-pervading. There it is localized, not all-pervading. When the person speaks, it is not all-pervading. It is limited, it is manifested it is becoming all pervading when it leaves the mobile. And as all pervading, it is spreading into the world. Because it is all pervading, the receiver can be anywhere. He can be in the bathroom, he can be in the India, he can be in US, he can be flying in space because it's all pervading. And he catches the mobile wave. One ray is sufficient to make the whole language manifest back. Only one. Mm. All the waves don't get concentrated there. It becomes all pervading, and all pervading. A few uh, waves are caught by the antenna, and from that the whole same words come out manifest. God is all pervading, and the whole God manifests as He was. Mm. So this manifestation happens in the impersonal absolute becomes personal in our heart. And it is this on which we meditate and link it back to the, when I keep it to do the Manasa Puja, mental worship of Him, I bring the two into picture, unmanifest, manifested in my heart. Uh, the infinite becoming finite for my sake, to be perceived by me through senses. It must be intelligible to me to understand. It must be an object of conception that my mind can understand it. So God is taking the form here, and it is this form in the background of the Absolute that I am going to worship, because I am mental worship. I am in the form, in Tattva form, I am going to offer in that Vyatari Shloka. And how this human life is converted into yogic aspect of life, and how it is offered. What all I have to gain in this world, what qualities I have to gain, what are the great things that I have to achieve in my life, like a gardener. A place is given for him to design a place. And now ashrama we built, and we wanted to put some lawn, some flowering plants, and the whole thing is planned. Oh, this will here, this plant will be put, this plant will be given this type of flower here, this plant will be given this type of flower, and various flowers, how we conceive and make like that. How do I decorate my life? How what all I have to get and attain to make a manifestation in the garden? How I design, and what all are things we are going to accumulate and bring together to make it a beautiful, and anybody sees it, he must be pleased. And those qualities in me which make God pleased with me, God accepts me, and I am able to climb to the higher level of consciousness I have to attain. And this attainment is done through this passage which we usually chant in the Manasa Puja. After chanting this, after contemplating on God with form in the heart, offering all tattvas. Tattvas means the thing which has created this universe, the principles which have created this universe, the principle which has created his bodily existence, the principles. Now, Gandha Tattva, all in Tattvic form, as principles, they are made to, where they are presented. So, this aspect, to convert myself into a thing that can climb to the level of understanding what is the principle behind an object. So those principles I must be able to perceive and give, and I must be myself, I must be in such a way. God is pleased with me. God descends to me and I climb to the universal level. This is Manasa Puja, my expansion to the level of cosmic level, expansion to the cosmic level, and God's all-pervading manifestation into a small, limited heart of mine, manifestation of the absolute and the expansion of the limited is Manasa Puja. Puja has a different way. Puja has a different thing to give us. The understanding in which we lodge ourselves is this puja. Puja is exchanging, self-offering. And how do I offer myself to become the all-pervading is puja. So archana and puja mean almost the same. There also I am making God, viewing God in different ways. And we see this aspect is brought clearly in stages, in various ways of manifestation. For me to contemplate upon and to undergo the transformation. And in Bahir Puja, it takes an entirely different field. The manifestations are actually visualized. God's presence is visualized. He is made to sit in a particular way, in a particular aspect, in a particular. I conceive it in my mind, I conceive it in my heart. I bring it to the not only intellectual level, not only to the mental level, but join my heart in feeling the presence of the Lord. So in Bahir Puja, I see God be outside. In Manasa Puja, I see God within myself, the infinite manifested here in my heart. My heart's Lord, who is there as Antaryamin, is manifest. I bring out the Antaryamin here in Bahir Puja. I invoke the all-pervading reality, the God in my heart, and view Him and worship Him. The heart who is eternally present in my heart, I bring out and worship Him. This is puja. Both are puja. One is Manasa Puja, one is Bahir Puja. Archana is where I view the various aspects of God under each name and offer Him something in the same thing I offer in different ways. So the whole thing, the God's manifestation in any form, and my subjecting myself, my offering, my as an obligation into it, as an oblation into it, we call the Archana. Archana in the Navada Bhakti has all this backing, what I am telling. In the next class, we will see the Manasa Puja and then the Bahir Puja in a little detail. What we chant and how we contemplate in Manasa Puja as a part of the Archana of the Navada Bhakti. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.